like it. I like it. Unmute the microphone. Unmuting microphones helps. Hey! Hey! Look at that! Only 18 minutes late. Ha ha! Pro streamer.
Got all your ducks in a row.
What's going on, Jade?
How you doing, Rhev?
Let's address what happened here. Let's get this out of the way right off the bat. Episode 64, Rhev's Palaver, one of my bestest new friends in the whole wide world, Jade, aka Coyote Wildfire, whom I love and adore almost as much as his fiance, my very own stream daughter, Lil Shiki. I could never choose which one of you I love more. That's just
She's
like
a captivating one, though.
it's like saying, what do you like more, peanut butter or chocolate? It's like,
You just put them together, man. You know, to have them both.
Jade, thank you so much for being on tonight.
Pleasure.
Let's just talk for one moment about what happened here. So you're like, I'm going to end my stream and host into Rhev, and then I'm going to be on Rhev's Palaver.
Yeah.
In theory.
20 minutes ago.
In theory, great idea.
We
And
tried.
I had Skype booted up and ready, and you went to your like outro screen for your stream and said, I'm going to be hosting in Rhev, because in theory, all we had to do is get on Skype, get the call going. I would boot up OBS, put up the loading screen, and then I could finagle all the stuff in studio mode, right?
Yep.
So you go to your outro screen, and I immediately call you on Skype, and you pop up, but no webcam for me, and no blue light on my webcam, so I know it's not activated. So
Thank you, Skype.
I'm unplugging the USB, unplugging it. I'm rebooting Skype. All of a sudden, Skype is saying, you're already signed in on Skype. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Oh.
So then I call you in Discord. And I'm like, dude, what's going on? I'm having problems with Skype. And you're like, hello? Hello? And I can see you. My webcam still isn't lighting up. You can't hear me. My microphone is no longer lit up. I start trying to type. Nothing's going on. My mouse isn't moving. I'm like, holy fuck. So I go to hard boot my computer thinking, oh my God, did the USB ports on my motherboard fry or something? That's all I can think of, right? I go to hard boot, I power back on, and it's like, Windows is updating. Step 1 of 3. So
It's one of those opportunities to demonstrate. Oh, there you go. There, single barrel, 15 years, single malt. Yes. I can see. I don't blame you, Rhev. There you go. That's it. Oh man. So it was one of those things that was, great in theory but messy in practice. But I think the marker of a real resilient or veteran streamer is the one who can roll with those punches and still make it out on top.
Jade, I legit was just like, when I called, thank God I had your phone number so I could call you on the phone. And I was like, all right, this is what's going on. And
Yep.
I'm not going to lie. Part of me is just like, I'm just going to fucking crawl into bed and go to sleep. This is just so bad. And thank you for filling in on short notice, because I originally had planned on doing a Star Trek themed palaver, and I usually don't do themes to my palavers. They're usually just
Right.
But the person that I had scheduled was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to be on. And I talked to her on Discord, and so I knew she knew what she was talking about. It was going to be great. I've checked out her stream, so I knew she'd be okay on, I knew everything would be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept saying, you got to add me on Skype. And then, like, finally on Thursday, I'm like, listen, it's Thursday. You still haven't added me on Skype. And she goes, oh, I need to re-download it.
Okay. Okay.
So, like, Thursday, she still hasn't added me. Friday, she still hasn't added me. I'm like, Saturday, I finally go, all right, if you don't add me on Skype, like, right now, I've got to find someone else. She goes, oh, I can't get Skype to work on my computer.
You couldn't have let him know? Like just send a DM. Like, it's not that hard.
So I think that was when I asked you if you wanted to be on Saturday was when I asked you.
Yeah, we were in the middle of video with viewers, actually. We were playing Dead by Daylight, and you're like, oh, I got a Skype message, and you didn't excuse yourself, but you made, a mention of it because I figured it was something that was either important or something that you had to attend to real quick. And, you got back to me and you're like, oh, okay. So also, by the way, by any chance you want to be on the Palaver on Monday? And I'm like, yes, I do. Where do I sign?
Yeah. That was it. Yeah, you can assume I'm getting Discord messages 24/7.
Constantly, yeah.
I actually showed someone recently. I go, yeah, okay, see this list of Discord messages? And they're like, yeah. I go, okay, so every time you get a DM from someone, it goes to the top of the list. And I went down the list. I go, okay, see D-Bach here? And it was like down near the bottom of the screen. And I go, yeah. I go, I talked to D-Bach 2 days ago.
The rest of them were from that day, yeah.
The rest of these are in the last 48 hours. Yeah.
So, yep. No, I feel you. It's part of one being a streamer, but it's there you go. It's also part and parcel to being part of community leadership. I mean, you're going to interact with a lot of different people. There are going to be people with questions, or if you're organizing something, as you do every single week, what with the Team MZ podcast or with the Palaver. I mean, there's a lot of people and a lot of ducks that you got to get in a row, and then you also got your friends. I mean, you like these people; these are people that you want to be in contact with. So there's always a stream of DMs going.
I'm so glad you said also your friends too, because legitimately half of them are just people being like, "Hey man, what's going on? Blah blah blah, great show," and like just just friendly stuff. And by no means do I want that to stop. But at the same time, it's like, if I've got one guy, and I love this guy. I'm not saying anything bad about him, but like he gets bored at work, so he gets on Discord on his phone and direct messages me. And he's like, what are you up to? And I'm like, well, I was streaming for those 6 hours that you were messaging me, so that's why I didn't respond. He's like, oh, no problem.
Why doesn't he tune into the stream? Then he can actually talk to you.
Yeah, he can't. Well, I've said that too. He's like, yeah, I can't watch Twitch while I'm at work. So, yeah. Inky says, who is supposed to be on Palaver? Don't worry about it. I might have her on at some point again in the future, so I don't want to say anything bad about her. She's a moderator in Team MZ and a very nice lady. So I don't want to badmouth her in any way, and I hope I don't come across that I'm badmouthing. It just...
It's just the way that it worked out, and sometimes that happens. You try to organize something. I've had times where I've tried to organize community events. Sometimes, it was earlier actually in the iterations of Prepare for the Mediocre. When the membership was a lot smaller. It's a lot easier now to get things organized, or at least a few people involved. If I throw the line out, but. That being said, there have been times where I'm like, I have people and they're like, yeah, I'm on board with this. This sounds like fun. Oh yeah, I definitely want to do that. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's aim for etc. date. Do we want to do it once a month? Or ooh, how was that whiskey face?
Went down the wrong way a little bit. Sorry. I'm sorry. Continue.
So, and it happens. It does. You just got to roll with it. It's cool.
Man, I will say this: you've done a great job in the several months that I've known you. Really, I don't want to say turning PTFM around, because that implies that you were doing something wrong before. Mm-hmm. But let's sort of like kind of building it and shaping it in the right direction, I guess is the way I want to put it. I feel like you've definitely gotten a lot of good help from mods like Inky.
Yeah. And
I know it's always tough. Both Proper Nerds and PTFM have lost featured streamers or hosts, as you call them. You know, you have to cycle sometimes, and people's lifestyles change, and you know, you keep plugging, right?
You got to roll with it. I mean, you have to expect it too. At the very least in PFTM, we have, you know, leadership is completely voluntary. Like if you're done with it and you want to step down, I mean, what am I going to do? Be like, no, I own you? That's silly. That's you know, that makes no sense to me. So what I like is that when we have an air of freedom for people to bring creatively what they can contribute themselves, and both Inky and Mez have been fantastic additions to the community. They've, you know, taken up the reins on more than a couple of things. I mean, they're just great people too to begin with. They're fun, friendly people. I enjoy gaming with them and getting to interact with them. Or talk with them. And then, you know, Shiki is really, like, the last number of months, too, just really upped her game as well. And it's been really cool to see each of them kind of, you know, they all bring something unique, fun, and exciting to the table. And I'm always 100% on board with that because, I mean, I'm one person. I can't do this alone. I don't expect it to be more than it can be. And then when you have other people who want to take ownership, too, and you know, participate or, you know, contribute something of their own. I think that's awesome because different people have different things that I can't do myself. I mean, they're people who are better at things than I am.
Well, and it's also a matter of time management too. I mean, the amount of work that goes into, I mean, I will speak for Proper Nerds, and I assume it's Proper Nerds and PTFM have very similar numbers and viewers and favorite, you know, so I think it's fair when I'm talking about one that it probably applies to both. But dude, if I was the only one doing everything in Proper Nerds, I would never stream. It would be just it'd be 24/7 dealing with community stuff. But thankfully we've got Loina, we added AJ and Sammy as moderators. And on top of that, all the featured streamers take a pretty active role as moderators and building the community and, you know, pushing the community. Because God forbid, like Thorn. Thorn is our newest featured streamer. And today while I was streaming, or maybe when I was sleeping, or I don't know, at some point when I was not at my computer, a bunch of people were talking in the lounge. And someone said, hey, how come I don't have a color? And Thorn was like, if you want a color, you just ask for a color. And someone's like, I want to be purple. He gave him purple. And then like 3 other people were like, well, I want to be this color. And he just did it all. And it was like,
there you go.
Yeah, that used to be the work that I had to do, you know?
Yep. Now it's one thing that you don't have to worry about because you've got people that, you know, who want to contribute to it too, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And I'm very, very grateful for how you know, Prepare for the Mediocre has grown, and I'm also very grateful for, you know, the friendships that we've all been able to enjoy between our communities. I absolutely do consider us sister communities, you know, and it's a tremendous opportunity both to get plugged into what I think are 2 great communities for people, but it's also a great place to just, you know, make friends and meet genuine individuals as well.
Yeah, you know, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull back a curtain and I'm going to give you guys, if you're watching right now, I'm going to tell you some inside scoop. So, I don't know, what was it, like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, maybe, that Coyote came to Lassane and me and whoever else was featured streamers at the time and said, hey, I want to be a featured streamer in Proper Nerds. And we looked at it, we said, well, what's this? Tell us about this Prepare for the Mediocre. So he told us all about this thing that he had been building for 2 years or 2+ years at that point. And we took a long look at it. And myself and the other mods, we looked at it and we're like, we love Coyote. We would love to have him as a featured streamer. But it would feel really weird for him to trash everything he had done with PTFM. So we called him in and we sat down and we talked for like an hour and a half and we just said, we would love to have you, but you can't do both, you know, and we really think that you would be better off doing this and just still being a proper nerd, but focus on PTFM. We think that's the way to go. And oh my God, I sometimes think to myself, like, God, I really wish Coyote was a proper nerd, but I'm so glad he isn't at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right. It's not anything that's like, disparaging by any stretch of the imagination. You guys, you always made sure to note the difference that like you're still a proper nerd just as much as you are, a member of Prepare for the Mediocre. But by the same token, you wanted to make sure like, hey, we appreciate the interest and we would love to have you, but you look at what you've done, and it was something that rang true for me. Like you put time, you put effort, you put energy cultivating this, and then for you to move on from that. I mean, is that something? It was a question that was posited to me, I think, by Knox, and he was like, "Is that something that you really want to do? Do you just want to like let all that go? I mean, if so, okay, then we'll talk."
Yeah.
But that.
Well, actually, it was, if you're willing to let PTFM go, then we absolutely 100% would love to have you. It was just, dude, we don't think that's a good idea for you. Like, we didn't want to see you throw away something you had worked so hard on that we knew could be as successful as it has been. And I, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that little talk kind of gave you a little kick in the seat too.
It did, actually. What was interesting was I was like, okay, so they've given me their kind of like their core value set, which gave me something to ruminate on, because when I first started Twitch streaming, I didn't have a community to rely on. Like, I didn't have anybody to help me with, onboarding or, it's weird getting spoiler alerts because I'm in the same room as Coyote. Hi, little Shiki. So when you guys gave me, like your insight as to the way that you did Proper Nerds, it kind of helped me structure and direct my creative energies. I'm like, okay, well, this is what I think, could benefit. This is how I could take kind of some of the principles or some of the ideas and structure of Proper Nerds and use that to benefit or educate the way that I approach Prepare for the Mediocre, which, has been, I think, a tremendous blessing to me because, like I said, I started without a community to help me with onboarding or getting my, nice, or with getting my channel off the ground. So instead, what I did was I just built a community around myself instead. And, there was a lot of time, it was a lot of effort and a lot of energy. And I'm glad it could have gone either way. Honestly, it could have been a make or break scenario at that point. And I'm just very, very thankful for those who have contributed to making it what it is now. And it definitely was a make scenario. It grew, it flourished, and it is, it's the most active, most organized, and biggest it has ever been. And it's gone far beyond what I could have ever hoped for.
It really, it does feel so good. I'm in the same situation as you. I started streaming in November of 2016, and I joined Team MZ in late December, like very end of December, early January of 2017, but I didn't get involved in the community, right? It was too big. I didn't understand it. It was too confusing. And at the time, I remember in January, us getting excited because we were approaching 750 members. I was like,
right.
Too big for me. I don't know what's going on. I was too new to Twitch. I didn't know what was going on. And while Team MZ is an amazing community, and I love them, and I'm not saying anything bad about them, their outreach to new streamers that were just starting was not great. In the sense that at the time, there was resources there, but you had to go seek them out. And as a new streamer, and as someone who was like, wow, I can figure this out, I didn't really know how to do that. And right. I think the smaller communities that you find with Prepare for the Mediocre, Proper Nerds, a couple other ones, like you're friends with Swango's... the
Swangolian Army.
Swangolian Army, but isn't there another one that you and Swango are both in that I'm drawing a blank?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Streamers Alliance.
Streamers Alliance. The Daily Grind is one that I do a lot with those guys. They're appropriately bigger than Proper Nerds, as Proper Nerds is to Prepare for the Mediocre, which is to say roughly the same size, just a few numbers more. You know what I mean?
Right.
But great people, and those smaller communities are better able to focus on the people that are in them.
Exactly. And with, one of the things that I love to say is a benefit of being part of Prepare for the Mediocres, it's a great place for people to get their streams off the ground. It's a great opportunity to work toward affiliate. Because, I mean, once the affiliate thing came out and it was like, oh, this is the set in stone, what you need to do before you get your affiliate invite, it became a lot easier for smaller communities to cultivate that and really help give that personal one-on-one that needs to be done for people as they're getting, because for some people, they're not cut out for streaming, but at the very least, I think everybody should try, because for those of us who find that it is as enriching as it can be and as it is, it's just an absolute. It was a blessing to me is really the word that I'm looking for. And so, we've had lots of new people who come in, they'll use the community tag on Twitch, and then, the bot announces them, and then they've got, a little more exposure. I like to call it a support network, because the people that I've surrounded myself with, I feel confident in that, like, if push came to shove and somebody came on really hard times or was really in, a bad place, that it would, the community would be able to come alongside and support them through it, whether through moral support, financial support, or at the very least advice and counseling from people who may be older, And Zasale just asked a question. Do you mind if I answer that?
Well, yeah, I absolutely want to answer that. So, yeah, Zale says, do you guys fear if you grow... Well, I mean, people can read the chat below, even if they're not looking at Twitch. They can. This is why I put the chat right below me, is so that people can see it even if they're watching full screen. But yeah, Zale said, do you fear if you grow too much, you lose the personal feel of the stream? I will absolutely let you go first, then I definitely want to address it myself.
Absolutely. Okay, so if we grow too much, you lose the personal feel or touch. It can happen. It absolutely can. No matter where you go, if there are more people, it becomes less easy to stay very driven and focused on your core ideals and your core values as a community. And I feel that if Prepare for the Mediocre continues to grow the way that it has been, that actually, with the people that we have staffing it now and the people that are in membership, I feel that Prepare for the Mediocre is in the best place to grow and take on new membership, to take on new people, new leadership as necessary. And the reason being is that you surround yourself with the people that you want to see. You associate with the people that you identify with and share your core values, at least in, a small sense. There's some sort of harmony or resonance between the two of you or the group of you collaboratively. So I feel that, the people that I have surrounded myself with, and by proxy, the members who they have surrounded themselves with within the community, are in a fantastic place to maintain that personal touch, to maintain that friendship and that sense of camaraderie and community that we all hope to maintain and strive to offer new members.
Sorry, I was just typing something. So here's what I was going to say. I've felt like, obviously, I've had some decent growth over the last 14, 15 months, right?
Yeah.
I've done decent. I mean, I'm not quite at 2,000 followers, but you know what? Here's the thing. I've come to realize those numbers don't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mean anything. I've had days where I've had 30 plus people in chat, and chat is moving slower than other days when I've had 4 people in chat.
Yep.
So the numbers don't actually mean anything. What it is, really, to answer Zale's question, is how you interact with your community, be it during your streams and dealing with chat, or be it Discord when you're not currently streaming. Now, today, a partnered member of Twitch, a woman named Shadow Fox, came into my channel and was talking to me and just hanging out, and she tossed me a follow, and she was asking me questions about the game I was playing, and she said, I really like your chat, because chat was doing my thing during my stream, and I said, thank you, and I tossed her a refollow, because I saw she had a little partnered icon, and then I hosted into her when I was done with my stream. Because she started, her stream started an hour before I ended. So, perfect.
Yeah.
So I hosted into her, and then I went over to her chat, and there was like 73 people in there, and chat was moving at maybe double the speed that my chat moves at.
Right, right. So it wasn't that much more or that much faster than yours.
But so here's the thing, though. The way she interacted with her chat was inspiring to me as a streamer. She was keeping at that same level of positivity and interaction. And yeah, dude, she missed some things that were being said that were scrolling by too fast. That's understandable. Like, you can't... Dude, no one... We're not computers. We're going to miss something sometimes. But she was interacting. She was keeping things going. She was watching and she was interacting and she was... And people, someone came in and were like, hey, I've been gone for a month and a half. You probably don't remember me. And she goes, oh, no, I remember you. I remember your name. You were here when I was playing, you know, like whatever, you know.
And she remembered that detail.
And she remembered, like, just, like, and then she stopped and she said, you know, I can't remember everyone who comes into chat, but I can remember sort of if I have a good vibe about them or not. Like, you know. Yeah, no. I have a guy who disappeared for about 6 months. His name is Official Fun Time. Disappeared for 6 months. Didn't
what
see
a
him.
name.
He came back. He's like, hey, do you remember me? I'm like, yeah, of course. I don't remember your name, but I remember you're like 17 or 18, and you're a very positive guy, and you like sushi. He's like, how do you remember that I like sushi? I'm like, because as streamers, that's our job, is to try to connect to everyone who's watching. I mean... I haven't gotten to know Grommy that well yet, but I've seen him around. I know he's a great guy. Canrick, he's my owl boy. Zale is Skiffy. Rockin' Rage is my brother. I love Rockin' Rage. Shiki's my daughter. Inky's the Puerto Rican no goodnik that's not good enough for Sammy. Like, you know, you get these little tidbits and impressions, and you don't have to remember them. They just become feelings. And I feel like... as long as you keep that MO, as long as you keep that in your heart, you know, when you're streaming, that, no, it doesn't matter if you keep getting big. Yeah, you might miss chat. Some people might say something and you don't connect with them immediately and they disappear and never come back, but you just keep trying to make connections.
It's true. Absolutely. Your job as an entertainer is... I mean, you can't entertain people if you have no concept of the overarching glue of why you're all here. You know, if you can't resonate with somebody or you can't find common ground with somebody, then I mean, you're just going to fall flat anyway. You know, your following is there because they feel they have connected with you. You provided something to them that was meaningful.
Yeah.
So I feel. Go ahead.
Oh, and I've always said, the reason I stream video games is because video games were always a social experience for me. My parents didn't allow me to just sit in my room and play video games by myself. That was something... My friends are coming over, we're going up to my room to play video games. Or I'm playing video games with my brother. If it was a very, very rare circumstance that they would let me sit in my room and play video games by myself. So video games were always social to me. So when I'm streaming, I want that connection. I want to look over at chat and have people that are talking.
Same here. And sometimes it's difficult to keep the chat moving sometimes. If it's a slow day, you know, you have to be a little more clever or creative in keeping them engaged. And that happens. But, you know, to resonate with you on that, when I was young, I really enjoyed Contra. I was the original OG NES Contra. And when my younger brother was in his early stages of childhood, you know, he was from like 3 to 4 to 5. He took on this obsession with watching Big Brother, playing video games. There was actually a family computer. The desk, right kitty corner to it was a safe where my parents kept all of their official documents. And he would sit on the edge of that and just watch me play every day that I played. He was just obsessed with this. And Contra was like the first game where my brother actually started to be able to play the game, and he played the game on par with me. Like, he was able to, and Contra, everybody knows Contra is one of the like most difficult games out there, and I felt like so thrilled that my younger brother picked up the controller, started playing along, and he and I were like taking on all the aliens together. Like, it was a deeply social experience for me, and I loved that so much more that I couldn't even eat dinner that night. I was so excited to play more Contra with my brother. And it was the social experience. It was the two of us coming together to work towards a common goal to fight off this alien threat. And, sure, it's primitive by a lot of cooperative standards nowadays, but I absolutely love that, where we play together. We do this together. There's a togetherness, whether it's watching somebody who's streaming and we're having a conversation, getting to know one another, or we're actually playing together. And that's been one of the most fun things that I feel I've done with regards to the video with viewers streams that have been going on throughout February.
Yeah. Which I want to get into in 1 second here.
Okay.
I want to get into the video with viewers thing. But before you do, one other thing. So I was the oldest of 4 children. Mm-hmm. So I always had younger siblings who also wanted to play. So if I had me and 2 friends over and we're playing something, and then my brother was like, I want to play too. Dude, I figured out the greatest trick early on. It was you hand him an unplugged controller, and then you and your friend are playing, and then your brother is holding an unplugged controller and is doing this too. And he thinks he's controlling one of them. He doesn't know. Like, whatever.
Right. And I mean, at that age, he feels like he's participating. And I think it's just the fact that he's, like, for him, even though, for us, we look at it and it's like he doesn't know. For him, he's doing the thing just like you guys are doing. Yep. And Grommy, actually, I wanted to address the LAN party comment primarily because it was either for my 26th or 27th birthday. I forget what it was. It was it was my 27th birthday. It was 2015. It was the first birthday that Shiki was out, and she and I had gotten together. So we hadn't even been together for a year. And I figured, you know what? I want to do a LAN party for my birthday. I don't want people to buy me gifts. What I'm going to do a LAN party. I'm going to invite a whole bunch of people. I'm going to have raffle gifts and stuff like that. I'm going to have a Smash Brothers tournament. I'm going to have prizes and stuff like that. And it was an absolute blast. It was probably the best birthday I've ever had, just by the fact that I had all of my friends crammed into my tiny-ass 2-bedroom apartment, floating into the kitchen and the dining room from the living room and down the hall. Just so that way we could all play video games together, and a lot of people loved it. And I think I don't remember what it was. It was a Razer gaming keyboard. It wasn't like the Black Widow Chroma. I didn't have that much money, but I had like 10 different prizes to give away and raffle off and whatnot. And it was a lot of fun. It was a blast. I really enjoyed that, and I'd love to do something like that again.
I'm in. Let me know. Just let me know. I'm so down for a LAN party. Oh, so getting back to video with viewers. This is something that you started doing recently.
Yes.
On your stream. And now, before you get into this, let me just say, when I stream, right, my feeling is I don't like being in Discord. I don't mind playing multiplayer games, but I don't feel like I want to subject my viewers to other people's voices other than mine. And now the main reason for that is, dude, it's a personal taste, personal opinion thing, and I've heard people say the exact opposite. But I hate when I go to watch a streamer and I just hear all these voices and I don't know who they are. Mm-hmm. So, since I don't like it, I don't want to subject my viewers to it.
Right.
Now, that being said, what you're doing is a little different with video with viewers, right?
Yes. So, when I had... this actually goes way back to some things that I learned when I first started my channel, when my channel was the Prepare for the Mediocre channel, essentially. We started off, it was me, my younger brother, and his roommate at the time. We started playing Dark Souls 2, and this was during Prepare for the Mediocre's inception at its very first iterations. And we would actually use Skype, we'd call together, and I would stream it from there. And then we had the addition of Shiki. Once we finished Dark Souls 2, there was Scholar of the First Sin, and she wanted it. She was like, well, I want to participate with you guys. And so we got her into it. And we got to a point where it was just a natural extension of our typical communication and interaction with viewership to have more than a couple people in the call. But that also, as Prepare for the Mediocre grew, we had 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 other people that wanted to start, participating. And that's fine. And I appreciate that. But what we realized is that the moment that we got past 4 people total in the call, it became a din. And there were multiple conversations that were going on. And for me, I feel like I can be a pretty good judge of a conversation, such that I can make sure that even while we have our banter and our side conversations, that we can still keep it focused on relevant, matters in the game or in the chat. That you get to that point where you have to, okay, nope, we can't do this. We have to consider how the viewers are responding to this and what they're listening to. Would you just want to listen to a bunch of people trying to talk over each other and getting frustrated with one another? No. And then, so what happened with Video with Viewers? Originally, what I wanted to do was I was going to open up an extra day during February for a donation drive. Basically, what had happened is I started the donation drive because with all of the support and all of the crunching of numbers, unfortunately, I was still going to be $500 short of my goal for the new vehicle. When the pickup got pushed up into February, which was significantly earlier than expected. So I was working really hard to make all of these numbers work, but no matter how I stretched it, I was going to still need $500 somehow very quickly to be able to reach that goal. So what I did was I had a donation drive and incentives for different tiers worth of donations and different money points and whatnot. And I was going to add an extra day, so I was streaming 4 days a week at least, and it was going to be every Saturday. Well, the first day of that donation drive, it was within the first hour I reached that goal. And that was, Rhev, that was the most mind-blowing experience and expression of generosity the Twitch community has ever shown me. I just could not believe that. I was completely floored. But that kind of sucked the sales out of what I was going to do for that whole donation drive thing throughout the month of February. So what I did instead was I decided, well, okay, I mean, you guys have done such an amazing, tremendous, wonderful job of supporting me. You've been along with me on this ride as I'm trying to scramble as much funds together to be able to have a sizable enough down payment on a new vehicle after the car was totaled back in June of last year, that why don't I do something that engages you guys? Why don't I do something that plays along with you and have this open invitation where I can play alongside people? And having taken what I've learned from the previous experience where I had too many people in those calls, one thing that has really, really aided me is the fact that push-to-talk does exist and no open comms. Mm-hmm. Some of the people who do the Video with Viewers, actually, Inky was one of the first Video with Viewers participants. When both of us are streaming, you got to think about the other streamer, too. You don't want me talking to my chat in the open air where the viewers from Inky's stream can hear it, or vice versa. We don't want to be talking over each other like that. So if you've only got one person or 2 people, it's not bad if somebody's on open comms. But if you've got a group of people, like we had 5, at some points when we were doing Dead by Daylight this past weekend, that can be difficult. And I think it's great that a lot of the people that I play with are also streamers themselves. They get the balance of the ebb and flow of where it's appropriate to start talking, or when you need to kind of ease off, so that way there's a moment to breathe and allows the streamer to interact with their own chat as well.
And I think also because I did last Thursday, you, Shiki, and I did Borderlands 2, which was a lot of fun, and I am legitimately looking forward to next Thursday.
Yes, I can't wait.
I've got my Siren leveled up to level 9, so I'm ready to go. I did a little bit of research into medic builds. I'm ready to go. Then on Saturday, we did Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
And at one point, we had 5 people in there. And I think all 5 of us are streamers, so we all know. We all just kind of kept it on Push and Talk, and there were long periods of silence in voice comms, because I didn't know who else might be streaming other than you. And I thought, I don't want to shit up everyone's chat,
Right.
It's
Right.
it makes a lot of sense to have that understanding that, like, yes, this is a lot of fun. We're gonna play and have a lot of fun together. And that's not to say I can't hit push to talk and be like, haha, ganked your ass, scrub. Like, I can do that, but also at the same time remember, okay, I'm not streaming. It's not my show. Or if I am streaming, I can say whatever bullshit I want to my mic without saying it to everyone.
Right, right. There are certain times too that you do want to have that comment to yourself and to your chat where you wouldn't really want to be like, say that open air to the rest of the group, But I do have to say, probably one of the most shining moments out of that, when Mestify was down. He was down and we thought he wasn't going to make it, and Loina was being he was being Loina and just kind of standing over him, just dropping the trap right under him, so that way anytime that Mestify moved, he would get trapped again, right? So what happens? Loina drops the trap, expecting that Mestify is just going to re-snare himself, goes off to find somebody else, turns around to realize that Mestify is shimmying away just inches from the exit. He's like, ghillie suit crawling it. And what does Loina do? Forgets his bear trap and steps in it, and Mestify gets away. It was amazing.
I'm so glad that got clipped, because I was playing and I was still, as a survivor, I was running around somewhere, so I didn't see it. Right. But I got to see the clip, and the reaction that happened in voice chat was amazing. So I'm really glad I got to see it later on.
It was hysterical, and actually, I'm looking through my Discord right now because I want to grab that clip, because it's definitely worth watching. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. So I'm gonna drop it in the chat for you guys whenever you guys want to take a look at it.
It is pretty hilarious. I will say this too, for anyone who is a fan of Coyote's channel, if you want a Gunzerker, a level 9 Gunzerker that's made it to Sanctuary would be perfect on Thursday. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to rest my fingers and rest my wrist on Thursday. So, I mean, usually do what? Like 3 hours?
It depends. Sometimes it's like 2, sometimes 2.5. 3 hours usually is the latest we'll go, because we start at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Going 3 hours means that it's 9 p.m. by the time that we kind of wrap it up. And then after that, I got to go to bed and try to get to sleep in time to get enough rest to wake up at 5:45 the next morning for the day job. But yeah, I mean, sometimes we'll even go to 3-4 hours, depending on how we're feeling for the night, or how the chat is, or how the stream is going. And actually, the Coyote scream was the wrong one, I think. The Coyote scream was when you dinged me.
Oh. I'm gonna jump topics here. So we were talking about, income on Twitch and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
The other day in Discord, Lassane shared a video by a very famous YouTuber named Boogie. I guess like Stephen Boogie is his name. Sure. And the title of the YouTube video was How to Be Successful on YouTube or Twitch in 2018. And there's nothing in there that you won't know. Like, there was nothing there that you wouldn't go, yeah, I know this, right?
Okay.
But the 2 points that he makes, that he stresses over and over and over, are consistency. In other words, you've got to stream on a schedule, and you've got to keep that schedule, and you have to be putting out content regularly. Mm-hmm. If you can only manage 2 hours a week, maybe this isn't for you.
Right.
If you're gonna bounce around and do mornings this day, Tuesdays you're in the evening, Wednesdays you go all day, Thursdays you're not on, Friday you're on sometime, like, it's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be consistent. And then the second point that he made that was really, really key is patience. I know that we've both gotten a lot of newer streamers, and they immediately want to ask for tips. They want to ask how we do it. Now, in your case, you've been doing this even longer than I have. But I tell people, I'm like, I'm where I'm at, and I've been doing this for 14 or 15 months. And I feel like I've gotten some very lucky breaks.
Sure.
Sure. Boogie's point in his video is, be prepared to do something every single day for 3 years before you start to see success.
It was
3 years.
Yeah, no, he's not wrong about that too. Because for me, I started. It was it was 4/20 of 15. So we're coming up on the 3-year anniversary of my channel as a Twitch streamer. Now, granted, there was a lot of slow going. In fact, actually, I couldn't even break 150 followers, I think, right before I met you guys. It was June. June was actually the kind of turning point for me, which kind of was a blessing in disguise, actually, because what catalyzed a lot of this was the car accident and my vehicle getting totaled. So I'm like, well, here's the thing. There's the affiliate program, and if I'm going to consider making, an additional income, or, hoping that there's something that I can apply myself to more without having the wheels, then the only real option I've got is either I've got to carpool to another job somewhere all the time, which is tough, or I'm going to throw myself into this Twitch thing. And, from that point on, it took me about a month, but I got the consistent viewership. And I got the, I already had the followers, obviously, but I opened up a third streaming day a week, and, really cranked out the hours that I needed within a 30-day time frame. And at the end of the 30 days, it was July 18th, I want to say, that I got, of last year, that I got my affiliate invite. And at that point, that was when I was like, okay, it's time to start networking. It's time to start building community. It's time to start, using every angle of social media that I can. I mean, there's the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, both personal and community now. And all of that, is something that I try to leverage as much as I can also for our other streamers, because not everybody is going to have those 3 to 4 years, before they become, potentially irrelevant, or get discouraged, and it's tough. Like I said earlier, it's not for some people, but for those people that it is, I want them to have every chance and asset that they have available and ready for them the moment that they jump into their, into the seat and start doing.
I firmly believe that the business of being a Twitch streamer is one where, unless you're in that upper, not even 1%, that 1/100th of a percent, unless you're in that business, that upper echelon, that 1 in 1 million people that are the top people on Twitch, it is networking. It is helping others, because that helps you. And
exactly.
Dude, okay, so again, to bring about this partnered streamer, dude, she's got 12,000 followers. She has, her sub goal for the month was 275 subscribers, which she was over when I was in her thing. She's at 281 subs. Her daily bit goal was $100 worth of bits. Okay, so that's like, what? That's 100,000 bits, right?
Yeah, 10,000
okay,
bits.
Okay,
but still,
whatever. It's 100. Her daily bit goal was $100 worth of bits in the 40 minutes that I was watching her today. 40 minutes, she made over $200 in bits. Now, this is someone who is obviously successful. This is their job. They do 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, streaming to Twitch. She's very good at it, too. I mean, fantastic at it. But you want to know what? She was still in my stream for 2 hours today, talking to me, watching my stream, networking, asking questions, being Dude, that's what you do. That's how you get to that level. That's how you get partnered. You don't forget that Twitch is a network.
That's true. It's true. A lot of people, they mistake Twitch strictly as a gaming and entertainment site, which
it's not.
It isn't. You're right. It's not. Those are the subject matter by and large. Yes, it's related to gaming very much, but it is a social media site. That is what Twitch is. And if just like with any other social media site, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, Tumblr, even whatever you use, LinkedIn especially, you're talking about, doing the networking, getting your face out there, putting your hand, yourself in front of other people, throwing out that handshake and being like, taking the time to invest in other people, because it's not just about getting people to watch you. It's also about, what you provide to other people. I mean, think about it in the sense of reciprocation. If I were to come up to just somebody who I barely even know and say, let me buy you a drink. Sure, okay, let's get a drink. What happens there? You have an interchange and a conversation at the worst. What more than likely happens in the back of their mind is, well, this person just showed me some generosity and thoughtfulness. It barely even knows me, but decided to treat me like a person, buy me a drink. Hell, the next round's on me, man. We get 2 drinks, both of you basically buying the same amount, and you now have a friend.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say about this streamer, so like I said, she came into my chat, spent 2 hours off and on chatting, and then I hosted into her. I went over and I lurked her for like an hour while I was doing wife time and dinner, right? Came back, hung out for like 45 minutes. In that time, I was talking. One of her other viewers gifted me a sub to her channel. And then two members of the Proper Nerds who came in on my host ended up enjoying her so much they subbed to her. So it's a perfect example of how that works. She didn't spend anything other than time and friendship to network and talk to a smaller streamer, me, and it paid off with at least 3 subs.
And doesn't that kind of speak to just how powerful one small act of thoughtfulness or kindness can be, though? I mean, think about it. There are so many people out there who just need genuine interactions with people. There are so many people out there who just want to have friends or a place to belong or a place to call their own. You can either be the person that provides them that or not. I mean, what's it going to be? And by networking and treating people like people, because each person has their own walk, their own life, their own path, and each of their experiences are valuable. If you take the time to notice that and appreciate them, it goes a long way. People recognize that when you're just genuine with somebody. I mean, people appreciate, they gravitate to people who can be open, honest, and transparent with them.
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Oh, I'm noticing. I'm noticing that glorious goatee too.
Yeah. I need to get. That was actually one of the first things when Coyote booted up Skype. He's like, "Boy, your hair's looking rather fluffy." I'm like, "No, I need a haircut. I know."
I don't know, man. It's thick. It looks good.
Yeah. Remember at Halloween I shaved my head?
Yeah.
Long ago.
I can't believe.
There's just so much more forehead than there used to be. A year ago this time, my hairline was like right here.
Oh, wow.
What are you going to do?
I mean, I'd rather have a widow's peak, though, than a crown.
A widow's peak is what I used to have.
My hair used to come
down. Now it's just back here and all thin.
You just got a billboard.
I'm just going to start screaming like this. What's up, guys? Hey, it's Rhev. Welcome to my Twitch channel. Everyone's gonna wonder.
Jordy LaForge.
Everyone's gonna wonder what are you doing with your headphones? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? Oh, dude, dude, if you ever see, this is the most funny thing to me. I see this all the time. I see guys like me who are losing their hair. They do this.
Oh, to cover it?
Yeah,
you're fooling nobody.
They put their sunglasses up on their head. They're like, "What? Did I put it there so I don't lose my sunglasses?" Like, dude, we know what you're doing.
Yep.
We know what you're doing.
Let's look at the head comb over, dude. It's painfully obvious at this point. Oh my god, though. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, for me, I guess if I was supposed to lose my hair, I figured I would have been starting by now, so I'm grateful for the hair that I've maintained.
Yeah, dude, that's what I thought a year and a half ago. I was like, man, look, my hair's still down to here, and I'm 39, so I should be good. Nope.
Well,
I was like, no, we were just waiting until you were 39 before you start to lose it.
for what it's worth, Rami, I do have quite long hair. I mean, my hair goes down to my ass. So for me to lose my hair, having grown this out since I was about 16, would be very, very sad.
I used to have hair not quite down to my ass, but down to, I don't know,
Shoulders,
about mid back.
Right? Oh, it went that far down.
Nah, I don't know. Like when I went down, like if I pulled it forward over my shoulders, it was nipple length. So whatever that means.
When it was dry or when it was wet?
Wet, because I have wavy hair. So when it was dry, it would be like shoulder length. It would pluff right up.
Fro problems.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, let's do one other thing. I want to talk about this.
Okay.
I want to talk about this.
All right.
One of the other things that people who don't know you in real life, listen up, people.
Oh no, here we go.
Yes, yeah, here it goes. One of the most amazing things about Coyote is you see him. He's so small. All right, it's so shocking because he's such a personality and he's so big and larger than life that I see him and I'm like, you're just a wee boy.
It's because you're a giant, Rhev.
I'm just literally every time I see you, I'm like, that's not Coyote's huge. Like you're so bold. You know what I mean? Like your personality is so big and you're so larger than life on stream. You know?
I try at least.
You do. You succeed. You're amazing, and you're one of my favorite people in the whole world. I knew Rhev was going to say that. Dude, you don't understand. Okay, so think about those cartoons when you were a little kid, where there'd be like the little scrappy dog, and then like the big dumb dog that would follow him around and be like, "Okay, George," which was obviously a take on Lenny and Carl from Of Mice and Men. Dude, when I hang out with Coyote, I feel like that big dumb galoot, like, "Okay, boss. Do it if you think so." Like I just feel like a big hulking galoot. Like normally when I'm around smaller people, I'm like, "Hello, I'm tall and therefore I'm better than you." Not with Coyote. With Coyote, I feel like a fucking idiot. Like I feel like, oh God, I'm a big hulking goony Tyrannosaurus Dumbo. It just goes to show how amazing you are and the fucking charisma you have.
That's a massive astronomical compliment to me. I really, really appreciate that. Because I do want to, like, I want to be fun. I want to be friendly and entertaining and inviting and like, it's just, I don't know. When I'm on stream, the one thing that I try to convey on stream is just, what you see is what you get. So that way, like, if somebody were to hang out with me in real life, I want that to be the same kind of thing. But the problem is...
I can confirm. He is exactly the same off-stream as he is on.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I try to be as real with people as possible. But the unfortunate diffusal to that hype bomb, typically, is when people see me, the first thing out of their mouth, without fail, is, I thought you'd be taller.
Dude, but don't take that as an insult, though.
It's not. It really isn't, and I don't take that like to heart in any sort of negative sense. But it's just like I was like, yeah, I knew you were gonna say that too, because
your personality, you are so larger than life on stream, and you're so charismatic that every human being automatically associates that with being big in real life. You know what I mean?
Kind of interesting how the human psychology interprets the largeness of one's behavior and mannerisms in the same way as the actual human's size, which is why like things like in the event of like a scrap with somebody, intimidation can certainly be a factor, even if obviously this person could outpress any, weights possible, depending upon how you position yourself. It's very possible to seem larger than you are. But by the same token, like if my personality is larger than life, people might then also interpret that as, well, you must be a pretty big dude. 5'6", 5'7", or maybe taller. I don't know how I'm perceived, but I mean, I'm
sorry, Grummy just caught me. I'm sorry. I'm listening. I swear to God.
Grummy, yeah, it's actually it's true. I've got to wrap it around my thigh actually, so I just tie it in a knot. But no, for real though, like I am 5'5", 130 pounds soaking wet. Okay, I am a small width, not very broad shouldered, not very tall human being, and I mean it's just my genetics. But I never want somebody to think that if he's small and tiny, that that I'm fragile either. You know what I mean? Like I love being able to interact in a boisterous manner. I love being able to carry a conversation and wholeheartedly engage in a dialogue with somebody, even if there are differences of opinion. And God damn it, Rhev! How did you find those?
All I'm gonna say is no, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Nope. Changed my mind. That I gotta remember. I did have a couple belts of scotch, so.
You need another belt of scotch, I think. That's what.
Well,
you
it
need.
is February 19th. Didn't the new rules go into effect today?
Well, the new rules don't prohibit you from drinking.
No. I'm just. You know what? I don't even want to bring it up. It might be too sexually suggestive, so forget it.
Oh my.
Yes, Inky knows. So I'm sure Inky knows what I was gonna say.
Okay. All right, then. Well, that's a shame. Yeah, I mean, oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Remember, kids, it's okay to be Takei.
Well, I don't know. I just think that meeting you and becoming friends with you. By the way, this is not a condom. I don't know why I'm playing with it. It's a glasses wipe for my glasses, just so everyone knows. Condoms.
It's a glasses condom. I don't know.
Who needs those? What am I, a sailor?
No, just jerk off into the ocean. It'll be fine.
No. Oh my god. Anyways, what I was going to say is I think to sort of bring together everything we've been talking about how amazing you are, about, your videos with viewers, about Twitch as a networking site, making use of it as a networking site, making real, true connections with other streamers and with your viewers, all of that rolled into one. I will say one of the greatest things that has happened to me in the year and a half that I've been, well, less than a year and a half that I've been streaming on Twitch was meeting you and Erica. Just becoming friends with you two has just been such an amazing thing. And I'm going to tell you something. You may have noticed it at your age, but I'm going to tell you, definitely by the time you're 40, you don't make new friends.
Right. It's hard. It is.
You just don't.
Right.
You kind of have whatever friends you have, and then they die or move off or whatever, and that's it. And you get married just so you have someone to talk to. And being able to make a new friend is something just absolutely amazing. So if there's anyone who's watching who isn't following this glorious man, please go to twitch.tv/Coyote Wildfire, toss him a follow, leave your notifications on. You will not regret it. He is an amazing, amazing person. On that note, dude, that's been an hour.
Oh my god! Every time,
dude. You know, it's the same with D-Bach. Every time I get on with D-Bach and Lassane, the two of them also, I look down and I'm like I looked down and I was like, oh, that was 57 minutes. Better start thinking about wrapping it up.
Yeah, make it like a gift, my friend, and wrap it.
So, all right, you're not going to be streaming again tonight because you have to work in the morning,
correct?
Right? So when will you be streaming next? Or Shiki? How about my stream daughter? When is Shiki streaming next?
I believe. Well, she's definitely going to be getting some streams in this week. I don't know. I don't know when her next day is because it's based upon when she has off, typically, or when she gets home from work. So, but she like last week, I mean, she had to have streamed no less than 4 times last week. And by the way, she finished the splash screen. Okay, so she streams tomorrow 11 to 4.
Cool. I will not be able to watch since I go live at 11 myself, but Shiki knows how much I love her. She's one of the very few people I'm currently subscribed to. I'm poor, so I can only subscribe to like 1 or 2 people a month, and this month it's Shiki.
Aw, see, she loved that. I noticed that you used the #1 Stream Daddy emote. And by the way, guys, just so you know, she's closing in. She's only 5 followers away from hitting that 200 follower mark, which in just a few months is an astronomical amount of growth. She's really stepped up her game. I'm incredibly proud of her. So that is outstanding. But to speak real quick back to what you were saying with regards to making friends and whatnot, I used to pride myself on being able to count my friends on one hand. And to a point, I still think that holds true because I would rather have quality friendships in few numbers than have a whole group of people who are fake with me, right? Popularity doesn't mean shit to me if it doesn't mean quality engagement and interaction with people. So for me to have those connections with people and for me to make it through a platform such as Twitch where I'm by my responsibility to be the entertainer, I find that just absolutely mind-blowing. And the way that the communities, both the proper nerds and the the people in Prepare for the Mediocre and everybody else in between who I've gotten to brush paths with, the people in the chat here, just some amazing people that should feel good about the people that they are, should know that they are valued because they bring to us what we're looking for, the friendship and the connections that we're looking to make with people. All of you guys in Rhev's chat right now, I recognize all of these names, and you're all, I can speak by personal experience, just awesome people, like people that I want to be my friends. Mm-hmm. And that for me is worth its weight in gold.
All right. Well, listen, we do have to wrap it up, but before we end, let me just say, if you're not already a member of the Proper Nerds Discord, please go ahead and click the link that's going to be in chat right here. Join the Proper Nerds Discord. Coyote, I know you or Shiki can throw the link to the Prepare for the Mediocre Discord in there, and give Shiki a minute or 2 to do that. That'll be fine. I highly recommend if you're a established streamer and you're happy where you are, but you're still looking to grow, it's a great tool. It's a great community. Both communities are amazing. Obviously, Coyote's much more involved in Prepare for the Mediocre, likewise I'm involved in Proper Nerds. But, he'll pop into Proper Nerds once a day, and I do the same into PTFM. They're just amazing communities. Do yourself a favor, join both of those Discords. You won't regret it.
You guys owe it to yourselves. I can confirm that the Proper Nerds, speaking as a representative of Prepare for the Mediocre, the Proper Nerds are absolutely worth your time. And we strive to provide just as much, if not, more. That sounded like a comparative statement, like we were trying to be better than the Proper Nerds.
No. Siblings compete with each other, but they're not in competition. Like, dude, you know how siblings are? We're sister communities. It's totally fine. We're family, and if one of us is doing good, the other one is happy. Mm-hmm. I 100% love everything that you do over there. And anytime I don't, I tell you.
It's true. We've had conversations and I'm glad that you feel comfortable enough to approach me, to voice your opinions, instead of just talking smack about me behind my back or grumbling about it. No. I always know where Rhev stands because Rhev's honest with me. Mm-hmm. I never have to do any guesswork. You're not being fake. Nope. And I love that.
Dude, I very recently, just to let everyone know, so I have 2 communities that I consider very close to my heart. Obviously, Team MZ, which I've been in for over a year, and Proper Nerds, which I founded. But there are a lot of great communities out there that I feel like I am a part of. Obviously, Prepare for the Mediocre, I'm very close with, but I've also been getting close with a couple others. And I said to Jade the other day, I'm like, hey, listen, man, if you ever notice that I'm not using PTFM, please understand it has nothing against you. It's just, I've been getting a little love from some of these other people in this other community, and so that third community slot, I do switch around,
Mm-hmm. Sometimes, and you're just transparent. You're just like, hey, just to let you know where I'm at. You didn't owe me that explanation. No. But you did. Yeah. You did it anyway.
I just want to let you know, just so you didn't think there was any problems there. It's just, dude, there's only 3 community slots, and I want to show love to other people.
Yep.
Too. That's all there is to it.
No, and that's completely 100% fine, and I think that's great.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, as the host of the Team MZ podcast on Fridays, I have to leave Team MZ in place, and
Yep.
I have to leave my proper nerds in place, since so that's.
It would be kind of silly if you didn't use your own community tag. I mean, that would
be a little silly, wouldn't it?
Yes, yeah.
All
Go
right.
to the Proper Nerds Discord.
We are way over an hour, so I'm going to have to go ahead and wrap this up. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do our thing, and you know what the thing is. It's not a surprise. The best part is when it's a surprise and the person doesn't know what's coming. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Then we're going to say goodnight, and then we're going to raid bomb someone. So please stay tuned for the raid bomb, and go over, and whoever we do drop the raid bomb on, show them a little love, show them a little Proper Nerd support. Stay tuned for the raid bomb. Sorry about that, everyone. Sorry. Yeah, but show them a little love, if you would please. So, the way we always wrap this up is we like to end it by giving our guest the last word. Last word goes to you.
Oh no, I didn't come prepared for this. Whatever shall I say? Oh, how can I'm so put on the spot now. Was that good enough?
Perfect. Perfect.
So here's the deal, guys. For those of you who have financially supported me, tremendous thanks. I've been talking about it a lot, not because I want your money, but because I have no words to describe the depth of gratitude, and I think on this every day. So I just wanted to share with you guys what I'm going to be doing either later this month or early next month. Basically, my car got totaled last year. I was going to use Twitch to supplement the income, and you guys have done so in droves and in spades, and I am so very thankful. So I'm actually going to be doing an IRL stream when the car is ready and available for pickup. Once I get a date settled, I will be doing an IRL stream and unveiling of the vehicle that I'm going to be picking up. I think you guys will be suitably impressed and pleased with the vehicle, and I hope that it's not supposed to be Jade gloating about his new car. It's supposed to be, hey, look at what we helped achieve as a community, and I hope that that's communicated in the stream. But I did want to say I was able to get that. It's really bad to show numbers on screen, but I'm going to do this because this is what you guys helped me achieve. Okay, this is the down payment check that you guys have helped me receive.
Boom.
You guys are incredible people. So thank you very much for everything that you have ever done for me, guys. You guys have helped make my dream come true. So stay tuned. I'll be getting you guys an absolute, a set in stone time frame and date on that IRL stream. And very, very much looking forward to seeing you guys there.
So the last word is thank you. With that, we're going to say goodnight. Good night, everyone. Stay tuned for a raid. Love you. Bye.
Rhev is logging out of the system. Please stand by for a raid on another Twitch streamer. Establishing connection now. Please hold.
I like it. I like it. I like it.